Alright, good morning, fellow adventurers. We are out here at the beautiful Cape Henlopen State Park on the coast of Delaware today. Out for another practice hike, training hike for the JMT. Today I got Brian and Gary with me. Yeah, wake up.
You know,
we got a little slow start this morning.
You set your electronics, I'll set mine.
Yeah, we're going to head out here. Not exactly a beautiful day yet, but it's supposed to clear up later. It's cold, drizzly, and windy right now. But hey, it's all part of the hike. So we're going to do around 10 miles today out here in the state park. This is a coastal park, so we're definitely on a beach and piney area. So it's going to be pretty interesting. And what's going to be really cool is once we get up a little farther down here, we got a old World War II naval battery that we're going to check out. So stick with us as we hike this trail today, and we'll check in with you later. Being a military installation, there are a lot of old places we can't really get to. There's bunkers, the actual artillery, the naval artillery gun emplacement is open, but it's basically like a museum, so you got to pay to get in, and you know, it's only open certain hours, so we probably won't be seeing that. But who knows? We'll take a look at it later. I was just talking about those old bunkers. Here's one here. Definitely a hardened shelter. There's those things all around this state park here. So just like any other state park, Cape Henlopen State Park is full featured. They got all kinds of activities out here, including camping. See up here on the rise behind me, some tent sites. Yeah, they got cabins out here you can rent. There's boating, beach access, surf fishing, a lot of biking trails. Lots to do out here, plenty to do. There's another one of those bunkers. Bunkers 65. So here's some of the cabin rentals. Not too shabby. Had climate control on them, so you know, winter or summer, either way, you're all good on temperature. We're on the bike loop right now. This particular area is paved. Not all of it is. There's quite a bit of gravel and sand trails. Yeah, another one of these things. These things are everywhere here. I wonder what these are. I wonder what they used to be used for. My guess is probably ammo storage for the artillery guns. So you can see some of the sand dunes back behind me here. These ones are well inland. All kinds of little trails going off everywhere up here. Now behind me, this will make more sense later. But this is one of the fire control towers that's out here on the coast of Delaware, and that will come into play later on once we get to 4 miles, and you'll understand how that all comes together. This control tower is actually closed. They don't let you access it. There is one back where we parked that's actually able to be climbed, but right now everything's closed due to COVID. Alright, so we are taking it off-road. So, what's also cool about this hike today, a lot of the JMT, as rocky as it is, there's a lot of sandy parts of the trail, and today's going to be a good kind of practice for that, because walking in sand is probably the hardest thing, and I hate it myself, but it is what it is. But this is a good practice for it. Chimney in the middle of nowhere. So obviously there's something underground here. I bet you if we go around the other side here, there's going to be a door. I don't know if we should start digging, see if there's anybody under there or what. I don't know.
Oh, so we're not the first ones here. Oh.
I'm just going to put these back up on the trail.
Well, they belong to somebody. I wonder what happened to them.
They're buried.
They're underneath the sand.
That's what the vultures are doing.
Yeah, they were picking at something a few minutes ago. Yeah, we're going back to the road.
So you can't see there at night.
Not really any good way out of this.
They're either kids' glasses
And there was a
or girl glasses.
that area up there with the smokestack was fenced off, so we just think that we probably shouldn't be back here. Haven't seen any signs though.
I think with kids' glasses, you've got a parent that's rather aggravated. Yep.
Pretty cool out here though. I have to look it up later. There's a certain time of year where you actually can't go out on the dunes because of some marine fowl. I forget what the species is, but they do their nesting out here. I think it's closer to the shore, and you can't go anywhere near them.
Well, we weren't there like that. Okay. But it's just, you know, there's ridge lines along a little here, a little there. You like kind of stuff and thinking that, yeah, we're going. Right. It's like, holy crap. Yeah, we went.
I've been in Delaware almost 30 years, and I've been to Cape Henlopen a few times. Come down to the beach, driven through a few times. But I have never hiked out here, and I'm actually pleasantly surprised. This is some really cool hiking areas out here. seeing more and more of these raised platforms that are being built in all the state parks here. They're replacing the old salt-treated wood. These are made out of like composite. I guess they expect them to last a little longer.
You can rent gear from them. You can get used gear from them. You know you can sell it.
So we are on the Seaside Nature Trail right now. It's just a loop coming off the main road back there. It really reminds me of Florida. Very sandy soil, all the evergreens around, swampy areas, you know, because you're close to the shore. Water table's really high. But really peaceful and quiet back here. I love this. Eventually comes out onto the beach area and then loops back around to the main road. So I think we're about I don't know, less than a quarter mile from the bay. We'll check in when we get to the bay.
You can bring her.
Watch out for military explosives.
Right?
It's always been close to where I parked at.
All right, well, as with any military installation like this from World War II and back, there's always the danger of military explosives. We're going to stay right on the regular beach access path just to check out the view of the ocean, but there shouldn't be anything to worry about right here because this is a pretty well used area. So when you get out in the dunes where you're not supposed to be anyway, that's where you gotta be concerned. Definitely a good workout on the legs.
Yeah, we were thinking about that.
Well, it's good practice for JMT because we got a lot of sandy areas up there too.
I don't know, I think you're serious.
Yes. No, I am serious. Remember the part around Devil's Post File, Gary? Or
Yeah.
Brian? Not Gary,
I
geez.
know the map. Yeah, but it wasn't like this thing.
No, it was sand, but not this kind.
That's a lighthouse out there. So you should be able
Yeah.
to walk all the way down around the lighthouse and back up. In theory. You don't. And I don't know if it's the main.
Alright, so typically on a summer day, this place would be packed with beachgoers and swimmers and surf fishermen and everything else. Not quite warm enough for that yet. There were a couple days where it was, but it's still kind of cold and windy today. There's the dunes. When you get to the beach side, there's some signs there that say keep off the dunes, so I'm not going to climb them. Yeah, so we must have taken a turn there on the nature trail because it was showing on the map going towards the bay side of the Cape, and we're on the Atlantic side. So somehow there must have been a branch or a fork in the trail that we took. We didn't realize it. There's definitely nothing obvious. All right, so slight navigational error. I wasn't really paying attention. You may have noticed it earlier if you were quick and spotted it on the shot of the nature trail sign. It didn't say Seaside Nature Trail, it said Pinelands Nature Trail. So we were thinking we were on the seaside and we were headed towards the bay, but no, we ended up on the Atlantic side of the Cape. So yeah, look at the map, figured out where we were. It's kind of scary, the navigational errors you can make if you don't really pay attention to the map, because we knew we had to cross a road and we knew we were going right to a nature trail. Everything matched up other than the name. I just didn't catch that. But yeah, we're good now. We're actually almost back to the car. We won't be going back to the car until later. We're going to keep going around south further into the park and go as far as we can on this it's a yellow dash trail on the map. I don't know what it's called, but that should give us another 5 miles or so. We've only done 3. All right, 4 miles trailhead left. If we would have continued around that way, we would have completed the loop for the Pinelands Trail. But to get more mileage today, we're going to head south, bypass the car, bypass the tower, and we'll be on our way. All right, so I didn't realize it, but we're coming right up along the backside of the 4 miles, some of the barracks and buildings. Right here is one of them. Another one up here. This is the old World War II military base. They had some, like I said earlier, naval gun emplacement. They had some infantry established here for, I guess, as a part of that defense. And straight ahead is that tower. And we're almost right back to the car. All right. It's part of the Delaware History Trail. There's the explosives. Warning again. And here is 4 miles. All these buildings from World War II, I mean, it's a mixed bag of stuff. Some of these long ones here are barracks. There was I think a dining hall up here on the right hand side, farther up past the guns. I really don't know what the rest of these really shorter ones were.
Yeah, I would think that's something that would have come up a long time ago.
Here's some of the old anti-aircraft guns. So the emplacements over here, is that AA or is that mobile artillery? They're just regular artillery.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they were used also for shooting at ships.
Well, I don't know. That's where you come across some of the stuff that was just placed here. You don't know whether it was the actual ones that they had.
Right.
You know, or whether these were the original locations for them or anything. I doubt it.
No, they've got cement pads all over the place back here.
Well, that's probably the original.
Yeah.
It's just that you could put them here and everybody can get to them. That's what you do.
Yeah, because you probably wouldn't have had 2 of them so close to each other like that.
No. I don't know where we're at. Doesn't have a thing saying you are here.
Yeah, you're like almost to battery 519. That's the battery right there.
Ah, okay.
Oh, looks like they might be waiting to open up too. Maybe we can go in. No,
Cool.
maybe not. We're going away.
Sunday, so I don't know. See, that's like an emplacement.
Yeah, that's a true artillery piece right there.
May have had the mobile ones, but
There's like a deck gun over there. Yeah, see, you spin them. Well, that's why they have all the grooves.
yeah, you can tell they've cut them off.
Next
cut
one
'em
raised
away.
20 miles. Fired a 260-pound shell, 20 miles. And that's only an 8-inch gun. And this is World War II. I mean, imagine what they could do now. Wow. Pretty
Everybody's
cool.
Like, well, why do they still have artillery? So it's still a lot cheaper. And they've gotten them pretty accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be a bad day. No, just I'm coming up here looking at the business end of the rifled barrel here, and found a little composition book. It's a little geocache, I guess. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Interesting things you find on the hikes. All right, we're gonna go up here to the back side of the museum.
Yep.
All right, looking down along Cape May, or I'm sorry, looking down along Cape Henlopen. There's a lighthouse all the way out there at the end of the point.
Looks like a ferry.
And the ferry's coming in out there, way past the lighthouse.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep, ferry runs between Cape May and Cape Henlopen in Lewis. It's about a 20-mile crossing across the bay to get to Cape May, New Jersey. And you can actually see it on a clear day. All right, heading on up the trail here.
Whiskey bottle.
What? Whiskey? Where? So we're on the coastal side of the 4 Miles Museum, and unfortunately it's not what I expected. I was in here years and years ago when they still had that 16-inch gun inside the battery here in place. And it was still an old rundown bunker, I mean, from World War II, and it was trashed, falling apart. They were in the process of renovating it, and it felt like an old World War II bunker, you know, something like that. But they've created it, but they've converted it into a museum now, so it's just glass doors out front here. They closed it in. I was here when it was still open-faced with the gun. So I'm actually a little disappointed, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. But the 16-inch gun we saw on that side over there is what used to be in this building right here. So just to explain how all this stuff worked. So this was the gun emplacement. It was a 16-inch gun, and it had a range out beyond the Cape May point. It actually could extend into New Jersey if it had to. It had 25-mile range, all directions. And the fire control towers that you see off in the distance, we passed it a little while ago. There's a whole series of them along the coast here. So basically, those fire control towers, if there was an enemy ship or U-boat sighted, they would do their triangulation from all those towers, create a firing solution for this gun or the other smaller guns as needed, and they would go from there. That's how they would calculate, you know, where they had to fire. Pretty elaborate system for World War II. It worked. It's turning into a beautiful day. I think another hour or two, this low cloud layer will be gone and it'll be pretty sunny. All right, we're going to get on down the trail here and head to the south end of the park. I love World War II history. All this stuff is really kind of cool to me. But I definitely wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that one, or any of these. So on a normal year, you can actually get up in here and climb to the top of the observation tower, but not this year, unfortunately. So we're actually retracing our steps here for about a quarter mile, and we're going to branch off onto the dunes trail and see where that takes us.
One park in Ohio, you go in there, you just stand there, land right on your hand. Okay.
Here's the gun rails. Yep. Just a roll of guns in on those.
Brought all the ammo and supplies. And, yeah.
Some sort of facility here on the right. We haven't figured out what it is. A bunch of pipes sticking up out of the ground. And some sort of generator building there or something. Alright, so I'm going to head down this way towards the Gordon's Pond Trail. Don't know if we're going to go to Gordon's Pond or not, but that's an option.
The yellow marker.
So this is Salt Marsh Spur off that direction. I think this actually just connects two sides of the Dunes Trail because it circles around. This one splits it.
Yeah, I think so too.
So we could go that way, or we can go straight and go, I'd say put the miles in.
Yeah.
All right.
Biden said it was coming up on your left.
All right, we're taking a quick jaunt off the trail here, up here to Herring Point. I think we stopped here once before. It's got a pretty awesome viewpoint over the coast. And there is also an old gun emplacement up here too. It's abandoned though. There's nothing up here other than just the old bunker. Yeah, I think there used to be something up on top of this, or maybe on this side and they filled it in, I don't know, but definitely one of the smaller gun emplacement pads right there. So we'll walk up here to the coast. Alright, so we're up here at Herring Point. Like I said, it's got a pretty good viewpoint of the whole coast, all the way up to the Cape. The other side, once I get around to it, is down to Rehoboth Beach. Down that way you can see the high-rise buildings. That's Rehoboth Beach. See it back behind me. There's somebody heading down with a surfboard. I guess surf's up.
Yeah, you're rolling over the. I mean,
It's crushed gravel. You know.
yeah.
No.
All right, so there's a pretty cool lookout point there at Herring Point. Just hopped back onto the Walking Dunes Trail. This is pretty nice here. I was thinking dunes, you know, as in sand dunes, but it's just a actual maintained trail. So I don't know if you've been able to hear it as I'm walking here, but my pack is creaking again. Hear that? So about a month and a half, 2 months ago, actually in Utah, I mentioned on my video that my packs have been creaking and squeaking, making noise. and I was going to contact Osprey, and I did. Called them up or I emailed them, and they said that you know, it's definitely could be a warranty issue if I wanted to push it. But I asked them if I could attempt to lubricate, you know, where the noise was coming from around the frame, and would that void the warranty? And they said no, because I'm trying to do a functional fix for a problem with their product. So I went ahead and I got some silicone and some Teflon sprays. I've tried them both out. It actually did take care of the problem for about, you know, 2 months or so when I was using them. But the last trip I did at Fair Hill with the Scouts, which I did not do a video on that, but that last trip, it started making noise again. And today it's really bad. You can hear it if I'm really quiet. So I think I'm going to end up having to send this thing back to them and see if they can take care of the issue, or they, you know, I don't know if they're going to issue me a new pack or what, but, you know, I definitely don't expect that, because there's nothing really wrong with the pack. But I just can't imagine walking 250 miles in the Sierra with this thing creaking like that. I'd be a madman by the time I was done. We'll see what happens. Now, this is a pretty shot. This is looking south towards, down towards Gordon's Pond. Yes, so far the weather has been holding out on us. Always been a little bit of chance of rain today, you know, once we got here, but it's mostly cleared up. The sun did come out for a little bit, but clouds have moved in again. But hey, I'll take it. I will definitely take it. Beautiful marsh areas out here. Love this. An old military building. Says to keep out, so obviously I'm going to keep out. But glass is gone. Old boiler. A lot of water dripping in there. So obviously the roof is gone. Not gone, but leaking. I bet there's just a lot of history out here we don't even know about. Looks like WWII has got a research area back here. Not sure what they're researching, but they have a big marine school presence down here, especially around Lewis, where they've got a research center out there. So this might have something to do with it. So we're back on the paved trail, and don't have too much farther before we're going to be back to the Fort Miles area in the car. So we've covered pretty much all there is to cover out here on trail systems. Thought we'd do more, but oh well. So here's another one of those ammo bunkers. Definitely sealed up, locked up. But they've got the metal I-beam, steel I-beam up there. And that's where they used to run the, probably the lift chains to run the shells out to whatever they were going to be carrying them in. Whether they transported it on those rails or trucks, I don't know. Pretty cool. All right, well, we are back to the car down here at the Fort Miles parking lot, and I think we're done for the day. We're over 7.5 miles, something like that. We were aiming for 10 to 12, but there's just not really enough trail out here unless we start doubling back. And we've decided to actually head back into town, get some lunch there, and we're going to hit some of the outlets, specifically Columbia and Merrill. So shh, don't tell my wife. But anyway, guys, yeah, good hike out here. I love this area out here. I'm definitely going to be back. If you like the content, give us a thumbs up below, and please consider subscribing for next time. You'll get notices for the additional and future videos that we put out. So until next time, guys, thanks again and happy trails.